This is the Enviro Venice 1700 model with a 2.5 firebox size. I've done 3 initial burn-ins. These were small fires with kindling, just to remove any moisture from the internal parts of the stove, the fire bricks, liner, etc. On the second one, had a little larger fire. The third one, a little larger fire. As stated in the manual, there will be some paint fumes as the paint cures. This is a normal part of the process. I'm doing the first of a larger fire. I'm going to bring the stove up to an operating temperature, keep it at that operating temperature for a good period of time, hopefully removing any initial of the paint fumes and any other of the burn off that needs to take place. I learned on the first few burns not to run the blower fan on the unit. This only dispersed fumes through the house that set off the smoke detectors. Smoke detectors were sensitive enough to be set off by fumes, not smoke. I am not getting any smoke from this unit or have any smoke ever leaks out. It really drafts extremely well. Had a really good install job. Taking a little closer look here, there's the Enviro label. There is the massive firebox. As you can see, I've got a couple of smaller pieces and a log or two in there, and definitely room for more, but it's not needed with the efficiency. But just a cavernous firebox, which is nice for a long burn. I don't have to mess with the stove. I just throw the wood in and forget about it. I do have the air all the way open right now because I want to create a good flame. What I've done with my thermometer, which I always recommend to have one with the stove, is I've placed it inside the stove in this area. And as you can see my thermometer, and I can clearly watch the needle in between the 2 pegs that are the ideal operating temperature for the stove without running risk of overfiring. I do have the blower off right now because I just want to remove any last of the paint fumes and not have them spread throughout the house and set off the smoke detectors. Unit without the blower really throws out the heat. This has a very high rating of BTUs and is quite efficient stove. 84% efficiency, very low smoke, and really throws off the heat even without the blower. Has a nice cast iron top, some steel also on the surround. Has a very solid door. Something that I found with the Enviros, it has some air ports right there that you'll see in this little hump. Really injects air into the firebox, and you can see it has steel that is a shad over a 1/4 of an inch. Many of the stoves have just about or under a 1/4 inch steel. Really has a thick firebox, really well made steel. I'd call it heavy gauge, and a solid cast iron door with very nice gasket to seal. As you can see, I got no smoke on opening that door, even though I would say I'd opened it a touch fast. Locks down really well, and I've got my air control right here. And I've got 4 air tubes in there, so I really can paint a nice picture in that firebox. As you can see, that's just about ideal. I'm pulling the flames off of the wood, and literally just the smoke is burning, generating the heat, while having a bed of coals. This is approximately 1 hour into the start of the fire, and I'm already getting very, very nice efficiency with the unit.